hello and good morning. Welcome for my garden. A different setting today, and I was a little behind on filming with my English episode since I did the Dutch one on Friday. But yeah, it's dry outside now, so let's try and do it here. I hope the trees are not making too much noise because it's rather windy as usual. But well, welcome to the Navy Knitters podcast. To all of you who've been here before, welcome back, and to our new viewers, hello. Glad you have found my little spot on the internet. I'm Leontine, the face behind the Navy Knitter. I'm 41 years old. I live in the Netherlands, in the north, in Heer Hugo Waard. Try and say that. And yeah, as the name suggests, I am a knitter, a crafter, a maker. I dip my toes in all kind of creative endeavors, and as it happens, I'm also an officer in the Royal Netherlands Navy, so hence the name. Well, you found me today on Sunday, I don't know. It's Sunday, and as always, it's windy here. It's rainy, like Dutch summer. This year is like crap. But yeah, I wanted to start off today. Maybe you've seen it on my Instagram. I wanted to start with a big thank you to all of my subscribers, because I hit the magic level of 500 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm really, really, really grateful for that. I know there's many more watching opposed to people who also subscribe. To subscribe, you just have to click on the little bell, and then you get a notification whenever I upload a video, and it helps me enormously to get my my YouTube channel out there and seen by others. So you would help me enormously. And also, to celebrate my 500 subscribers on YouTube, I am hosting a giveaway, and it's both in Dutch and in English, so it's a double one. And to enter in the giveaway, you have to be, first of all, a subscriber to my channel, and second, put a comment down here and ask me any question you ever wanted to know about knitting, crafting, Navy life, living in the Netherlands, anything. Just post it beneath here, and next Friday in the morning I will try and do a live Q&A. I don't know yet if I do it in English or in Dutch, or a mix, or both, or I do 2 Q&As and just repeat the questions. I don't know yet, but I will pick one of the Dutch viewers and one of the international viewers, and you will both get a Navy Knitter surprise giveaway package, which I have not yet assembled, but it will without a doubt be something crisscross across my Etsy web shop. Yeah, so that's one thing to start off. That's off my chest now. So first, let's start off with some coffee. This is my favorite mug. It's from a store called Dille and Camille. You have it in the Netherlands, but I think it's also seen it in Germany and all the way around. And it's huge. And this is my spring and summer edition, and I have also one, which is my winter edition, with mistletoe on there or something. And I have a terrible hay fever, I just discovered. I'm sorry. Yeah, and what I usually do is I fill this mug up with boiling water, then I let it sit so the mug gets hot, and then I pour in some coffee and then some hot milk and a few drops of coffee flavoring, because yeah, I don't have a Starbucks near me, and this is, well, next level if you can't get into Starbucks. So, but let's get on. What I am wearing is also my finished object. This is the Rosa Tee Lady by the lovely Lange Anna. I'll show you the pattern right here. And I have made this last year for my daughter, and in a turquoise color, and she wears it all the time. I can hardly get it off her to get it washed when there's stains all over it. And last year I made it in Viking Bambino for her, which I will show you later. But this one, I made this in, I was so well prepared this time, in Cascade Heritage, in And you see it here, it's 75% superwool merino and 25% nylon. Oh, my face is in there, so I won't sharpen up. I hope this is okay. Then it's the color Dusky Orchid, and I bought it for $13 a skein at Knitty City in New York. So this is also actually a souvenir yarn that I bought for myself, and I want to get up and try and show you, which is not that easy. Well, here you see, so we have this detail here, which really reminds me of the Felix cardigan I made, and then it has this picot edging. I haven't blocked this yet, so it's a little bumpy still. There's also picot edging on the little sleeves, and in the back, let's see if I can show you like this, there's ties in a little eyelet, which I think is really, really cute. And I made this long enough. I actually made it a little longer so I can also tuck it in and have all options. But it actually feels really, really great to wear. I love the color. It sits quite high, as you see, because you start off here and then you start knitting the increases. This is an I-cord edging, and which connects to the ties in the back. And you see this is actually the hydrangea color. Well, they're a bit brighter, but and yeah, this is the pattern is very, very well written, like all of Navyknitter Anna's patterns. And you see, she has, without showing too much, she has this chart for all sizes. So here you see the different sizes, and then she has specified when to do what and when to do increases or decreases and everything. So it's very size specific. It's also very size inclusive. It has 20 sizes. Wow, that's a lot. So you have a lot of sizes, but what I did when I was knitting the chart, I somehow slipped a row. So I started in my row, and then I somehow misplaced the marker and I knit the wrong row. It's itchy. And so what I did, to not end up with a big like soggy and white t-shirt under the arms, as you can see here, I made a little decrease dart, because you knit it from top down. So I decreased 4 stitches on either side, and it sits right at the height of my widest bust range. Don't know if you can hear the birds singing. It's actually, I'm also happy with lots of birds in our garden. Well, at the widest point, and then I just decreased the 4 stitches to get a little shaping in there. I'm not that good in shaping yet, but I really like how the result has become. And I knit this actually quite fast. This went to Vilnius with me, and it was actually 3/4 finished. But then I had to do all the edgings and the I-cord. The I-cord took me like ages. I really don't like doing I-cords. But yeah, this is actually the first time I'm wearing it today, and with if the summer stays like this, in like 16, 17, 18 degrees Celsius, this is the ideal shirt to wear. And yeah, if you want to have a go at the patterns by Navyknitter Anna, she also has her own yarn, which is lovely. I went to see her shop in Exeter, but unfortunately that day the shop was closed. But she ships internationally, and she has the best advent calendar ever. It's called the Knit Before Christmas, and I bought it last year and I bought it again this year. And then you will get skeins of her own yarn, and her mohair is so soft, and her colorways are stunning. So I'm not sponsored in any way. I'm just in love with sweet Anna and her yarn and patterns. So that's my big finished object, and I knit this, by the way, with my Chagu wooden needles size 3, because it's also very easy for me to unscrew them and take them with me to the airport. And since I've been on 2 trips in between, so Vilnius was my last one, and I had it with me, and we went to Italy recently, 3 weeks ago, but I'll show you afterwards. But I have 2 other finished objects. The first one, shorties. Aren't these gorgeous? This is the Where's the ball band? Everything is flying away here today, so I think this has gone with the wind. Well, yeah, it must have flown away. This is the Regia Cotton Color in the color Kiwi. And doesn't it look like a kiwi? Really. I watch a lot of German podcasts, so at this point, a big shout out to Nordknits. You can also find her. I'll link them below. I like Nordknits, My Simone, Knit and See. These are a few, and they have been knitting with this cotton yarn. This is cotton sock yarn by Regia, and it comes colored in this colorway. And ooh, missed a stitch here. Oh no. Yeah, and it comes in this colorway, and it really looks gorgeous. I think I made shorties. Like the last one, I took the pattern of Ducathi of her hazel shorties, but I left out the lace on the top part, and I did the increase heel. I don't know the English name, but you first increase the stitches, then from here on you do 2 sets of short rows to do the heel shaping, and then you decrease these stitches, and it gives you this really nice heel. These are for my daughter. She already claimed them. I just saw that I have a loose stitch hanging around here. I must have missed it, must have slipped, so I have to repair that. And it's still have the markers in, so I did this, then I did 10, 20, 30, 40 rows in just stockinette, and then I decreased for the toe. And this gives me a size 38, 39 in European shoe size. They're quite stretchy, but yeah, it's summer, so she will undoubtedly grow again. She's getting so big. And because my son didn't want to be left out, I immediately cast on a second pair because I have quite a lot of yarn left. And if you look at this, it looks quite cringy. Oh, does it? Hello. Focus, please. No, not today. So it looks like a little wobbly, the yarn, but it knits up so nicely and it feels so nice. I have another colorway for myself. It's called some yellowy, orangey, speckly. And these knit up so fast. This is actually, I took this to the stables yesterday, and I think I did all the like 20 or 30 rows in an hour or something. Yeah, so I cast these on with 56 stitches. I did the same heel tab, and in order for me to get those socks apart, because I then have 2 identical sets, somebody at midnight suggested to just put in a garter row, which I did. I don't know if it made sense to do it on the heel part, because then you have structure on the heel, so I hope it doesn't rub too much. So then I can tell them apart. And instead of doing the same heel, this turned out to be a boomerang heel without me knowing, because I did the increases like here, then I did the first row of short rows, and you start at the widest, and you always get smaller, smaller, smaller. But then on the second part of the short rows, I started small and always got wider. So I think this is half of a boomerang heel without me knowing it. So I have different heels, and this also looks quite okay. I did the decreases, and now it's all the way around. And I stopped at some point sipping my coffee and watching the horses, because I was afraid it would get too large. So I have to measure it first and see when I can get the toe started. So that's actually one of my works in progress, my small one. And this is living in my lovely N-Chitin Beak bag, which I once got because I treated myself to her Advent, the Stitch Marker and Project Bag Advent. She's known for everything with cats and stuff. But yeah, I'm not a big cat person, but I'm a sea person, and this was cats and the sea, so obviously I had to get it. And buying a Stitch Marker Advent is a nice way of having an Advent without spending too much on, well, spending large amounts on a yarn Advent calendar, because usually they're quite, let's say, expensive or cost intensive. Well, it's a lot of labor going in there, so it's justified. But oh, here I found the ball band. This is the Regia Tutti Frutti. And this is really nice. In the colorway, oh, the colorway is called Tutti Frutti color, I think. Yeah. Color 02418. And I really like this. But I have another finished object, and it's also in the sock department. I finished two, well, didn't weave in the ends yet, finished. 2 sock tubes, 60 stitches all the way around. These used to live in my car, and whenever I had to wait for the kids to pick them up somewhere at school, I was knitting around in them. And this is a budget yarn I found at like a low-cost budget shop where they have everything. It's called Action in the Netherlands, and it's quite all over Europe now. And at one time I found this self-striping sock yarn. Amazing. And I haven't found it ever since, but this one time I bought 3 skeins, I think, and the toes and the cuffs are from Drops Nord. And I haven't put in the heels yet. I will leave them like this, put them away, and whenever I need a really fast gift for somebody, like a birthday gift or whatever, I'll just put in afterthought heels and be done. So this goes into my present box, my knitted present box, which I haven't yet, but I will make one. And these will go there and stand by. Yeah, actually, oh yeah, and the biggest one, which is living in my Tolsta knitting bag. And as Tolsta tees are quite Moorish, as Rebecca calls it, I made myself a Tolsta bag, and I can keep the admin on here. I have to put little tabs on. I have made one Tolsta tee so far. I have made this one in the test knit, which I showed in last episode. And now I'm knitting on this one, the best part, and then still this one left. So I made myself a Tolsta knitting bag. And Strikkebra, if you are watching, it is coming your way. I'm so sorry. I promised one of the lovely ladies from the test knit, and she's amazing at knitting Tolstas. Do you ever knit something else? Because you're working them out one after the other. But she had quite some hard time, and she is a lovely lady and always was so lovely commenting and helping us out. And I told her that I would send her a Tolsta project bag for all her Tolsta endeavors, and I haven't done it yet. Yeah, but if you're interested in having your own little Tolsta bag, this is the A4 format and with a zipper in there. Just leave it in the comments and I will put them up on my Etsy shop. And this is just some lovely fabric I once found in France, and I like the color. And oh yeah, I have to tell you this. I was at Knit Night in Alkmaar. This is a bigger town very close to us, so if you're ever in the Netherlands, especially in springtime, it's well known for its tulip fields and everything. And we have the cheese market in Alkmaar, which is also very known every Friday from April to September. So of course I never go into town on a Friday because it's all run over by tourists. But yeah, so every first Thursday every month we come together at a place called Soup, which is soup in English. It's a lovely, quirky cafe place. And we meet up there, have a lovely drink and knit and chat. And we've done it 3 or 4 times now, and it's getting really cozy. You get to know the people from Knit Night. And there was one lady who had this big bowl, all of little crocheted hearts with a little hanger on there. And she gifted us all a heart. And it's so lovely. It looked like this big bowl of like sweets, and she was passing it around, and you could pick your color. And so now all the people at Knit Night and all the people who were actually at Soup now have a lovely little heart to put somewhere. Really lovely. So, but you want to know what's living in my Tolsta bag. I will get this out. Again, I knit this on my, like, very much promoted to favorite needles now. These are my Chaogu bamboo needles, size 3, US size 2.5, and this is my Tolsta vest so far. I knit this, and you see how drapey this fabric is. It's amazing. I'm so sorry you can't feel it, how lovely, cool and drapey this feels. This is Viking Bambino, actually the same yarn I made the t-shirt in for my daughter last year. And I will show you the ball band if I can find one. Where is it? Here. It looks like this, Viking Bambino. And it's 50% bamboo and 50% cotton from Viking yarn of Norway. And this is the color 403 in black. And I bought these at lindahobby.com. And I was actually influenced by knitting traditions by Inga, and she was knitting a cumulus tee with this yarn, and she was really in love with this yarn. So I googled all the way around where I could find it, and I finally found it online and had it shipped. So I made the t-shirt for my daughter last year, and now I also am making my Tolsta vest. I was taking this to knit night because I have knitted all of this when we were in Italy. I'll tell you more about it. And then I was taking it to knit night, not considering that it's a black yarn, and knitting a dark yarn, especially black, in a dimly lit place on a cozy couch where you really sink in, and being squeezed in between other knitters is not the ideal project to take. This was a lesson learned for me last time. So I haven't picked it up yet after Italy, but yeah, I really love it, and I hope I can finish it. Well, probably not. We're leaving for our summer holiday in 2 weeks, or 2 lovely weeks of Bretagne again. Same place we went last year. And I was hoping to get this finished, but I doubt it. Well, maybe 8 hours in a car will do me some good. But I hope to get this finished. And now, take a little break. So here we are again. Just had to go in for a bit. So yeah, this is my my Tolsta on its way. And as I said, I made most of this in Italy. Let me tell you, because I went on another trip. So it seems like every time I'm posting a YouTube video, I have another trip to tell you about. And well, the next one will be anyway, because I will have been in Bretagne in France. And then afterwards, I think I will stop my travels for a bit. Yeah, the kids had 1 week off from school, and it was out of the holiday season, so some were squeezed in between. Usually they get these like study days where teachers can do the admin and stuff, and they squeezed all those loose days together. Usually it's 1 day a month where they're off school, so now they bundled them up, and we got 1 week of holiday in between. And since my husband and I had enough days left on our holiday budget from work, yeah, we just thought, well, let's profit, and let's take my lovely mother-in-law, who takes a lot of care of the kids every day before and after school, and actually makes it happen that we can live our lifestyle like we do. And as a kind of a thank you, we gifted her the trip to Italy with us. And yeah, we almost see her every day. And we also had a lovely vacation a few years back in Crete when my husband was deployed. And we always think back to that time. I just found an old villa on Airbnb, and we went there with the kids and just did nothing. Il dolce fa niente. And so we often reminisce about Crete, and I thought, well, how lovely would it be to rent a little villa in Tuscany and just get over there and have a week of togetherness and swimming and enjoying the good food and each other's company. And so we did. We went to a place, it's called Castelnuovo in Garfagnana. And the Garfagnana region is, I found out later, actually after I booked it, that it's like a hidden gem in Tuscany. So if you've never been there, that's really the place to go. Lovely, lovely. And I have a small video which I recorded when we were at the villa. So I will put this in here. Enjoy. very quick hello from me to you. Today is the one before last day, or actually tomorrow's travel day, so it's the last day here in beautiful, beautiful Tuscany. The children had a week off from school, and it was, I wouldn't say unplanned, but usually they have one study day where teachers can do their admin and do stuff, and kids are off then. And this year they combined all those loose days together, and we had 1 week now in June, and it's pre-season, so we just took the chance and found a lovely Airbnb here in Tuscany in the region of the Garfagnana. And let me show you, because we've had a blast of a week. So this is where I've been hanging out these past few days, with this lovely view and the pool. Isn't this gorgeous? It is so lovely. That's my daughter back there lounging, and this is our garden. This is the back of the garden, and I have been furiously knitting on my Tolsta for the Tolsta along, or Tolsta time. And here you see what I knit in a day. So this is my progress keeper. So I managed to put in quite some rows, and this is everything I knit while we were here. I knit this up in black yarn. So this is Viking Bambino, and it's super, super soft. And with all the sun here, it's very easy to knit black yarn, and I have it on my wooden needles. So this is how much I did, and I want to make the Tolsta vest. So this one, and I'm almost at the point where I have to split. This is going to be 26 or 27 centimeters for me. I'm making it a bit longer, so I'm almost there. And this is just my third skein that I attached. But isn't this the most gorgeous view to sit in it? Seriously.
Dit is mijn vlog takeover. De vakantievlog van de Navyknitter. En ik ga vandaag voor jullie vloggen. We zijn even mijn vlechtje doen. Zijn de liedje die niet gevallen. Ja, we gaan dus zo naar grotten toe. En ja, dat ga ik ook filmen voor jullie. Ja, ik ga een vlog takeover doen. Ga ik ook lekker filmen. En we gaan ook vliegen. En dat ga ik ook filmen.
Wasn't that lovely? Of course, we had to go to Pisa. It was about an hour drive from the place where we were, because you have to these little mountain roads, and it wasn't actually that far of a distance by that. If you would watch it on a map, but you have to drive like through the mountains and through mountain passes, and that's really took a long time. Yeah, so we saw the tower, and then after we saw it, it was getting really warm, and we really fled back into our little sanctuary. Yeah, and we had the most lovely time. But yeah, I also went yarn shopping, yarn hunting, of course. And as you saw in the video, I found this really small place in Castelnuovo, and I went wandering around on Wednesday, actually after we came back from Pisa. Everybody was tired, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm not, so just took the rental car and just drove around a bit. And yeah, I found this little shop, which was, of course, closed on Wednesday afternoon. I should have known. So we went back on the last day. We left on Friday and we had to leave the house at a certain time. So we went back to the old part of Castelnuovo in Garfagnana. We sat on the marketplace, had some cappuccino, and while we were sitting there and enjoying the Italian village life, I just sneaked out and went to the shop again. And as you can see, it was like haberdashery, how do you say, knickknacks, everything. It was a mess. There was yarn everywhere and all other stuff and fabric, and well, you saw it. And I found some yarn. The first one is this. It's Bora Bora from Lane Mondiale, made in Brescia, Italy. And it's the color 929. And it is 70% cotton and 30% bamboo, which with this lovely coloring. And I was thinking of actually making an Italian summer scarf with this from an Italian knitter. She's also a lovely YouTuber on here. And I thought this would make a great combination to have Italian yarn bought in Italy and make an Italian pattern by an Italian designer. So this is going to be one of her scarf designs. And I also found on a basket outside the little shop where they were all like loose skeins and stuff and falling apart, and there she had discounted yarn, and I found these two. This is also from Mondial, and this is cashmere red gold and it is 10% cashmere, 70% merino extra fine, and 20% microfiber PC, whatever that may be. And I bought these two skeins, and I think they were, I have the price tag somewhere. It wasn't that much actually. It was €3. So I get a whole skein, and this is 50 grams, 140 meters. So I have two skeins of merino yarn for €6. And actually this look also quite cute together. So I thought of making a cowl or something small for winter because it's really, really super soft. Or some gloves or mittens or something. And because this was the last skein, it was actually €8 something. And she said, well, this is the last skein of the colorway. You know what? I get you 50% off. So it only cost me €4.20. Amazing. So I have a lot of new souvenir yarn. And again, my to knit list is increasing and increasing, of course. Another project, oh, once we're talking about increasing, that's a good, on that note, the stash of projects ever increasing. So far I've never taken part in any of the Stephen West knit-alongs, the mystery cowl or the sock-along or anything. Somehow, because the big scarves, I made the Colding shawl, one of the first knits, and it took me ages. I call it the scarf of doom. Even if the ladies at midnight and the one man at midnight, we're not only ladies there, we're very inclusive. So my folks at midnight, they loved actually the scarf. And I was like, oh God, it's my scarf of doom. And they said, wow, why? Because it's so lovely. So maybe I should get more into scarf and shawl and schlanket knitting. But yeah, so I was always following the mystery knit-alongs on Instagram and on the social channels, and I like it as entertainment, but I never saw me knitting any of Stephen West's designs so far, because I got influenced, of course, by one of my favorite Dutch YouTubers. It is Sarah. Big shout out to her. And she was wondering, she had kind of the same thing. She did the mystery knit-along a few times, and she was wondering whether to take part in the surprise sock-along this year. And she said, well, it's only socks, and socks is like an in-between project. It's not too big, but still you can take part. And I thought, yeah, maybe I should, for once, go with the experience and participate in a Stephen West knit-along. And so I did some stash diving, and I found an advent, my very first yarny advent I bought for myself 2 years ago, and it's from Atelier Het Wol Based. It's a Dutch dyer, and let me show you. You need one skein of 100 grams. This is the one. Here you can see the ball band. Focus. Do we get a focus? No. Atelier Het Wol Based, and this is sock yarn. Well, it's on the ball band. I don't know the exact composition of the yarn, but it's like a gray with speckles of brown and blue in there, and it has stellina, so you can see a shimmer. This was an extra skein I ordered together with the advent, and I will hold it with these contrast colors. And these are the minis that came with the same advent from 2 years ago, and I think this will make a lovely combination for these socks. So I still have to wind these. This will be a job for today since it's already starting on Tuesday. So yeah, I will keep you posted and maybe do some short videos on my progress on the Stephen West sock along. So that's what I'm planning on knitting. And I'm planning on doing something else, which I want to show you. And this is also one of the little lovely glimmers of Knit Night. I'm so grateful I found the people at Knit Night, and it's a lovely community. And yeah, how you can really help each other out and get questions answered and get opinions and get the support. And the Knit Night in Alkmaar, so what I said, every first Thursday a month in the place called Soep, and it's hosted by the lovely Lina from the yarn shop in Alkmaar, Kolgis. If you ever go to Alkmaar, there's 2 yarn shops, one Naaldkunst and one Kolgis, and Kolgis specializes in fair yarns, yeah, how to say it, they're all natural fibers, special dyers, local yarn. They even have the yarn made in Heer Hugo Waard from sheep in Heer Hugo Waard, so you can't get any more local than that. But if you're ever there, she's just lovely, and it's a combination of well, something we all want, like it's yarn and it's old books. So if she also would sell coffee, it would be heaven. But Lina, if you're watching, a big shout out. I'm a big fan of her store. And Lina said that she was introducing a tiara with a little frog on it. So whenever you need emotional support frogging a project, you can get the tiara on with a little knitted frog and be the frogging queen of the night. Well, we still have to figure out the frog, but she brought the tiara and I brought my project that I wanted to frog. It's not a small one, and it's well, complicated one. This is my novice sweater or novice cardigan from Petite Knit. I will just put it on and I can feel the warmth immediately. This is made in Sandnesgarn, Kitsilk mohair, and it has a wool content in it, and it's so warm. This was one of my first garments I made, and let me show you where my problem is, because with a lot of patterns, if I measured my bust circumference, so my bust, the widest point of my bust, and the upper bust, there's quite a difference. I have a D cup. I'm blessed with a D cup, let's say. But if I just take the widest measurements, that will mean that everything on the body and the top are actually too wide. So often I go down a size whenever there's no bust shaping. So I'm really glad Rebecca Clow from the Creabea has bust shaping options now, because it makes my garment much way better. Let me show you. You can see the problem immediately. Like, look how saggy this is. It's gotten so big, and well, it's just hanging, and it's not right. But the length would be okay. It could be a bit shorter, and I was just planning on frogging the entire thing. You see, I could fit 2 more people in here. And the arms are actually quite okay. The arm depth is okay. So I was like kind of ready to frock this whole thing. But then the lovely lady said, well, you know what? Just go halfway under the arm to the downside. Just frock this part. Then from here to about here, start knitting with half or a needle size down, and then redo the under part with another needle size down. And then it will sit more tightly and a little higher. And it would sit like this. And then it would be quite okay, even if it's a bit blousy. But then you take the slack out without having to re-knit the entire thing. And then you can actually quite see it. I didn't have enough yarn to make the band, so I bought another skein at Sandnes, and of course it was a different dye lot. And I said, if it's only for the button band, it won't be that bad, but actually you can see it quite okay. So I hope to frog enough that I have enough for a button band and make this a lot tighter. Oh no, it starts to rain. And then I will hopefully save my lovely cardigan. I don't know if you can hear it, but it starts to rain now. Welcome to the Dutch summer. You see it here. But I'm sitting under a big umbrella, so I'm safe. I hope it doesn't get too bad. Well, yeah, so that's actually my plan. I'm going to throw this in the freezer because somebody told me, oh no, now it gets really bad. I think I have to evacuate inside. Even the birds are evacuating. Yeah, so I'll throw this in the freezer because somebody said it would be easier to frock. And then hopefully I can save this project and earn my title of frogging queen next time at night. So I would say thank you for watching. I will cut it short here because now it gets really wet. Please leave me a comment under the video, and if you want to take part in the giveaway, leave me a comment and a question that I can answer in the Q&A. And of course subscribe to my channel. You can find me as The Navy Knitter on Instagram, on Ko-fi, on Ravelry, on everywhere. And thank you for watching, and see you back next time. Bye!